Hi, this is Margo. This is Wednesday evening, June the 5th, 2019, 6:35 p.m. Pacific Time, United States of America. And I just wanted to give people an update as to what I've been doing on my website and with Subscribestar, and to remind people that if you want a safe place to come to, I've created a safe place where we can delve deeper into spiritual matters and other things over on Subscribestar for $5 a month, which is very nominal. And with the coming censorship, and it's getting worse and worse all the time, then we need safe places where we can still share videos, comments, things like that. But this is my website. This is the new part of the website is glc.margoshealingcorner.com. But if you go to margoshealingcorner.com, it will redirect you to over here. So this is the home page, and here's the blog. I don't put stuff on the blog all the time. Here's useful links. Here is the link for my Subscribestar archives. After they've been up on Subscribestar, my posts, public and private, after they've been on Subscribestar for a while, then I move them over to here. And I've been busy archiving, and then that way at least the information is there. And I've gotten all of April archived, and I've started on May, but here's April, and I have the date of the post, and then the title, and then either a link or a picture or a link to a video. My videos that are not on YouTube are on Vimeo, and they're all embedded here for people to see. And I've been busy. I've been very busy keeping up with everything. And I do detailed methane reports whenever CAMS puts up new methane data. And if you're a member of Subscribestar, you get that. And and then I do other stuff too for my members. But I've never been monetized on YouTube, and I know I never will be. And channels like mine, if it had been monetized, it would probably be demonetized. And who knows how long my channel will be there, because they're going to be cracking down on all the channels who are bringing people the truth, because they don't want people to see what's going on. So I felt an urgency this spring to create an alternative, a safe place for us, and here it is, subscribestar.com/Margo. And here it is. And once you subscribe, and you can unsubscribe at any time for any reason, once you subscribe, it's just $5 a month that comes right off of your credit card or debit card. You can also donate if you'd like to support my work even more, or you can send me a message. And so here are the public messages that are up, or public posts right now. And you can see it's really clean, it's nice. And every time I put up a post, you get an email, once you're a member, right into your email box. I put up stuff about Oroville. I have been. different things. So also over on my website, here's my spiritual warfare page for if people need to learn about spiritual warfare. I've recorded a series of videos, and I put them up as audios too, but I do have a playlist of videos on YouTube for spiritual warfare that I put together. And then I've also started reading from the Bible, and I've completed the whole book of Revelation, and it's right here on my website, one chapter at a time. There are 22 chapters, so 22 videos. And then if you go so if you want to go just to one certain chapter, you can. And then at the bottom, I put together all the 22 videos into one long video. It's an hour and 43 minutes, the whole book of Revelation. And you can listen to that. And I've started reading the Psalms. Now there are 150 of those. And I'm recording them 5 chapters at a time, and that ends up to be anywhere between about 10 to 15 minutes per video. And I'm about halfway through. I'm through Psalms 70, and so I've got those up here as well. So if you're not familiar with these books of the Bible, and you just want to listen, you can certainly just come and listen. And I don't do preaching, I don't do commentary, I'm just reading. And then here, if you want to read it, I put the link to to the Psalms that I'm reading from, and so on. So there's that project I'm working on. So I want to get Psalms done, and then I want to do Proverbs. But so that's kind of an update as to what's going on over there. Now let's get right into our earthquake report. I'm very hoarse, so I'm going to have to keep drinking my tea and stopping and clearing my voice periodically. I was exposed to a very toxic environment yesterday, and it will take me several days to get over it. And it's just the way it is. So I have USGS pulled up, and we have 329 earthquakes worldwide for the last 24 hours. Of those, we have 33 that are 2.5 magnitude or higher. We've got several that are about to come off the map. Well, at 7:06 down here in the Caribbean. So let's start down there. Going to go to all magnitudes for that. So it's showing 13 here today. And they're getting higher in magnitude. We've got a bunch of 3s. It's a 3.3, 3.4, 2.2, and they're even 2.7. They're getting higher even on land here in Puerto Rico. So, like I said, we've got 13, and they're in the twos and threes range. Only 3 of them are under 2. So it's not enough to do damage. It's not big enough to do damage, but it's definitely showing movement. And they have had damaging earthquakes here in the past, but this is something to keep an eye on. So this is right on the edge. This is the Caribbean plate here. So that red line is where that connects with the North Atlantic plate. Now I'd like to start with this earthquake down here in the Antarctic, right on the tip. You can see it right down here, right on the tip of this western peninsula, and it's in between the Antarctic and South America, where these two tails come together here, right on the red line. This is the Antarctic plate. This came in at this is a 4.6 magnitude, South Shetland Islands. It came in at 10:32 this morning. And I have Climate Reanalyzer pulled up to show you what's going on down there. And while we're going, we can see lots of the world is in the brown, and the Arctic is in the brown. So it's warmer than normal. Siberia, we've seen methane releases. We saw a high sulfur dioxide release from here today. So with it being in the brown like this, the permafrost will be melting even faster now. Now we can see this western part of the United States that was in the blue, it's now in the brown. We can see up here, this is Siberia here, Russia here is in the brown, also Alaska is in the brown. South America, a lot of it is in the brown, and here is that western peninsula of the Antarctic. It's all in the red, so that's where we had the earthquake right here. Here it's flipped around. This is north, south, east, west here. So here it is. And they're in their winter time now. As we head into summer in the northern hemisphere, it's winter time down there. So there's that. So there's that earthquake. Now let's head up into South America. Here's a 5.3 Copiapo, Chile at 9:19 this morning. 4.5 Calama, Chile at 12:18 this morning, right after midnight, 109 kilometers deep. Then here's one off the coast of Ecuador of 4.4. They're calling it off the coast of Central America, which it is. This is Panama, this is Central America, but I think it's closer to Ecuador, frankly, just looking at it. So that was a 4.4 at 1:21 this afternoon. All these times I'm telling you are Pacific time, because that's my time zone. Now in this, here's one on land on the Philippines of 5.5 near Culaman, Philippines, came in at 1:41 this afternoon. This was deep, 466 kilometers deep. Now the deeper it is, the less destructive it'll be on the surface. So 5.5 and that deep, it probably was not big enough to do very much damage, if any. But with it being that deep, it will cause movement of the tectonic plates around the planet. Definitely. Now up here we had one on land at Taiwan, a 4.5 near Hualien, Taiwan at 12:27 this afternoon, 21 kilometers deep. 4.5, that's big enough to feel. It probably didn't cause much damage, if any. Next, up here, this is at the end of the Aleutian Island chain in the North Atlantic, off the coast of Kamchatka, Russia. Was a 5.0 near Nikolskoye, Russia at 3:57 this morning. So that's good size, but like I said, with it being in the ocean, it didn't do any damage because the water buffers these shaking vibrations. Now, moving on over, we've got a 4.4 near Xiluodu, China at 12:27 this morning. Here's a 4.0 near Abu, India at 10:01 this morning. Here's two in Pakistan, 4.7 near Kuzdar, Pakistan at 11:37 last night, and a 4.3 the same reporting station at 12:24 this morning. Next, we've got two here in Iran. The first one is a 4.5 near Sarpol-e-Zahab, Iran at 8:33 last night. And then same reporting station 3 minutes later was a 4.7 at 8:36 last night. So it's interesting we're seeing these pairs come in. I've seen this before. Here's one in the middle of the Caspian Sea, a 4.7. This is part of Turkmenistan, Turkmenbasi, Turkmenistan, at 5:33 this morning. So that's all on that side. And we've already done those. We looked at Dominican Republic. So that's all of the international earthquakes. Now let's go to Hawaii. We're only seeing 3 here today. 1.7 at Kilauea, 2.1 Hawaiian Ocean View, and a 2.0 near Honaunau-Pupu, and that one came in at 6:24 this evening. So that's still showing movement. Now moving on up into Alaska. There's a little one. Can barely see that. We've got 91 on the map here today. Average is 50 to 100 a day for Alaska because it's so seismically active. So we're going to start here with a 3.3 near Chernabura Island, 3.3 Chignik Lake, 2.6 Nikiski and a 2.6 Sutton Alpine. We're also seeing sulfur dioxide being released from Alaska here, probably because of all the earthquake activity and the volcanoes. It doesn't have to be blowing up to be active. It can be active just by giving a little puff here and there, and that will release sulfur dioxide that's measurable. Here's a microquake at Tanaga Volcano, a minus 0.1. The little ones count. Look at these. Here's a minus 0.1 Nikolsky, 0.3 Dutch Harbor, minus 0.4 Dutch Harbor. I had a dream where I was seeing the little ones, all the little ones kind of like breaking the land apart. So the little ones are important, and they can lead to bigger ones, is what we've seen. Now we're coming into the Cook Inlet. A lot of volcanoes along here. Redoubt volcano is up here. So we got 14 right there. Here's Anchorage. And we can see it's just coming on up. All these little ones coming on up. Not going to go over every single one, but you can see the movement of the magma. And we've got some in this little armpit area here. And I see the movement spreading out, frankly. And it's moving up and out. Here's Kobuk, only has 3 today. Here's one. Here's a 2.3 near Kobuk. Here's a 1.4 near Nome. And then we've got a little cluster going on up here at Koktovik. Here's 5 today. All of these are above 2. So that's a little bit higher in magnitude as well. Now let's come on down to the lower 48. We've got an uptick here in Oklahoma. We've got 8 here today. It looks like a quarry blast, a 2.0 magnitude quarry blast near Chelsea. So see, they're blasting all over the place. It's not just the western part. So I'll call these off. 2.0 Helena, 2.1 Cherokee, 1.7 Perry, 1.3 Prague, 1.9 Perry, 1.9 Medford, 0.0 Pawnee, and then the quarry blast happened at 2:54 this afternoon, and this was at the surface. 0 kilometers depth, that is at the surface. Now coming on over, we've got 2 at Morgan, Utah, 1.1 and a 1.2. And now moving on into Yellowstone. What's going on here? We've got 6 here today. Here's that 1.6 quarry blast at Manhattan at 10:49 this morning. We normally don't see them there. We normally see them at Butte. But they moved to Manhattan. where they've been having earthquakes anyway. That just makes a lot of sense. I'll call them off. A 0.9 Lincoln, 1.1 Polson, 1.1 Lima, 1.0 Manhattan, 0.5 Deer Lodge, and then the quarry blast. And now coming into the Pacific Northwest, we've got a 2.1 magnitude explosion near Deer Park, Washington at 11:30 this morning. And we've got an earthquake of 0.7 at Intiot, Washington at 10:43 last night. This is at a negative depth, a minus 1.1 kilometer depth. That means it's up in the mountain. The epicenter, for whatever reason, is up in the mountain. It's not in the ground. It could be magma moving up in the mountain and causing it to shake. Especially if it's an old volcano. Let's look at the tremors now. Yesterday there were 96 tremors in the Pacific Northwest. They centered around the Vancouver Island region and down here, where's this? To the northwest of Roseburg, Oregon. So up here, and then Roseburg, not sure. I think it's down here. Yeah, here's Roseburg. So over here. So that's where the tremors are happening. And the tremors are what happens before you have earthquakes. It shows movement, the shaking. Now coming into Northern California. Here's a 0.8 near Downeyville. Now it's right here. And you see all these little lakes? These are all reservoirs that are full of water. All of these. This is Lake Oroville. This is Lake Almanor. So, all it would take would be an earthquake on one of these, next to one of these full lakes with the dam, like here, and we could have a huge issue. Huge issue. Then coming into Nevada, we have 2 by Pyramid Lake. We had a 0 magnitude earthquake and then a minus 0.1. So these are microquakes to the just on the southeast corner of Pyramid Lake. I know exactly where that is. Here's a 1.8 explosion at Gabbs. And then a few down here. Now here's Alamo. That started back up. Remember we were seeing a whole bunch down here. We've got 11 here today. 1s and under. .5 Warm Springs. What's all that? I think that's it for Nevada. Now Mammoth Lakes has 10 here today. These are small. These are under 1. It's showing movement. Here's a little one, a 0.5 near Big Pine. Here's the Coso Junction area, 6 here today, 1.9, 2.9, look at that, and a 2.8, those are the highest ones, so that's getting up there. They've been in the 2s and 1s range, but that's getting up towards 3. There's Trona and Cyrils. Here we've got some coming down through these mountains. 1.1 Inyokern, 1.8 Bodfish, 1.1 Tehachapi. Now let's look at we've had massive activity over here that we normally don't have. This is off the coast of San Diego. Sorry. This is San Clemente Island. There have been 5 here. There was one over here that they took off. I saw one on this side of the island on the east side, but it's gone now. So they're showing 5, starting with this 4.3 that came in at 3:47 this morning. Then another 4.3 at 7:32 this morning. These are all in the ocean. 2.6 at 7:37 this morning. 2.9 at 9:13 this morning. And a 3.3 at 3:33 this afternoon. So, you know, if it's too big, it can cause a tsunami. We can look at the little wave picture and see. Here are 2. These are reports from 2 different earthquakes down there. No tsunami danger from this earthquake. And let's look at this one. No tsunami danger. So that's how you look it up. Here's the date of the earthquake. Here's the date it was issued. And here's the magnitude, the depth, latitude, longitude, location, and then the message. Here's one off the coast of Baja, a 2.2. It came in at 4:57 this morning. Here's another quarry blast, 1.6 Chula Vista. And we got a little cluster here, 3 right here on the border, 1.1, 1.5, 1.7 Progreso Baja. So I'd say things are picking up. So let's zoom out a little bit and see if we can get all of these Southern California earthquakes on the map. We're seeing 99 here today. So here's the red line, the San Andreas fault line. So we were seeing a whole bunch here at Glen Avon. We've got 65 here today. That's about what it was yesterday. It was like 61 or something. So that's still shaking. .1 is the biggest one there. Most of them are 1s and under. We've got some 2s peppered in, 3.1. That's the biggest one so far, I think. Do you want to see how many have been there this week? For the last week? Let's look at, just for the heck of it, 7 days all magnitude. You sitting down? 591 earthquakes just in this area, including these ones around here. Just in what we're looking at here, almost 600 earthquakes in the last 7 days. I'd say that's pretty significant. I'd say something's up. So we'll go back to 24 hours, all magnitudes. Okay, now let's come up the San Andreas fault line like we always do. Here's a 1.1 Atascadero, 1.0 Kolami, 1.0 Pinnacles, 1.5 Aromas, 0.9 Hollister. Here are two. 1.5 near Bay Point, 1.4 Suisun City. We'll come back to the geysers. Here's a 2.4 Brook Trails. We've got 34 at the geysers here today. So that's more of an average number that they have on a daily basis. And see, those are all small. They're all under, most of them are in the ones and under range. Like 1.7 is the highest, I think, today. So we'll zoom out and see if there's anything else that came in that we need to look at. This one, a 2.6 at Nikiski, Alaska, came in at 6:36. So I think that's a wrap. I'll go ahead and wrap it up for today. So I bid everyone peace, safety. Hope everyone has the strength to get through what you need to get through. And until next time, go in peace, and I'll talk to you soon. Good night.